This story begins with a performance at a nightclub called Birdcage in the vibrant landscapes of South Beach, Miami. We are introduced to Armand Goldman, an openly gay Jewish businessman and owner of this famous drag queen nightclub. He lives with Albert, his longtime spouse, who is the personification of extravagance, a true lady who shines in the club as the biggest drag queen star. Together, Armand and Albert share an apartment located right above the club itself and live with Agador, an eccentric gay butler from Guatemala who dreams of joining Armand's drag show. At one point, Armand's son Val returns from college with a surprising announcement. He is engaged to a classmate named Barbara Keeley. Barbara is the daughter of conservative Senator Kevin Keeley, who founded the Coalition for Moral Order and is seeking re-election. Barbara, knowing the father she has, told him that Val's father is a Greek cultural diplomat and that Val's mother is a housewife, and that their last name is Coleman. As if that wasn't enough, the Keeleys are in the midst of their own crisis. The co-founder of the Coalition for Moral Order, Senator Jackson, died of a heart attack in bed with an underage black prostitute. Completely suitable for the moral order, right? This makes headlines everywhere, and the Keeleys are surrounded by reporters, which threatens to ruin Kevin Keeley's political standing. Louise, Kevin's wife and Barbara's mother, suggests they visit Val's parents, believing them to be a traditional and upstanding family, as a double measure to avoid reporters and restore their impeccable public image. The senator sends his daughter out with her mother in the car, while he escapes through the window and comes face to face with reporters. They leave, but they are being followed by some reporters. Meanwhile, Val begs his father to participate in the farce, and after much discussion, Armand gives in to his son's impossible request and agrees to pretend to be a Christian Greek diplomat. Both work frantically to renovate the apartment into a more austere and simple home, removing any reference to homosexuality from the space. They also try to turn Agador, the butler with dreams and aspiring drag queen, into a classy butler and cook. He has to learn, for example, to wear closed shoes, something he never wears. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because Albert is extremely offended by Armand and Val's request that he stay away from the apartment. Albert even tries to pretend he's a straight guy, but he's a lost cause. With no other options, Armand and Val decide to call Catherine, Val's biological mother, a former showgirl who left her son with Armand and went away to become a businesswoman. When the Keeleys finally arrive to meet Val's family, the situation begins to spiral out of control. Catherine, Val's biological mother, who had been asked to play the role of Armand's wife, is late due to traffic. At this moment, a twist occurs. Albert decides to dress like a woman and take on the role of wife. The farce works with relative success. Senator Kevin even becomes charmed by the supposed Mrs. Coleman, much to Louise's displeasure. However, both Kevin and Louise begin to suspect that the Colemans are hiding something, especially when they are served a terrible soup made with all kinds of ingredients, including hard-boiled eggs, and notice that the dishes have pictures of men in very, shall we say, Greco-Roman poses. The confusion reaches its peak when reporters investigate the club and find a note left by Armand on the door intended for Catherine, who finally arrives at the apartment. Thus, the carefully constructed facade begins to crumble, forcing Val to reveal the truth about his family. Kevin and Louise discover that Val's parents own a gay nightclub and are Jewish and decide to leave immediately. But they discover a crowd of news reporters outside and come in again. The Keeleys find themselves in a dead end. They are now trapped in the apartment above a nightclub, and being seen in such company in such a situation would be the final nail in the coffin of Kevin's political career. Luckily, Albert has a brilliant idea. He dresses the Keeleys up as drag queens and performs an impromptu performance to We Are Family. Kevin Keeley, then, understands that his daughter's happiness is more important than maintaining political appearances. I wish it were so simple in the real world, right? As the show continues, Catherine manages to get the Keeleys out of the Birdcage nightclub without being intercepted by reporters. The film ends with Val and Barbara's wedding in an interfaith ceremony with a priest and a rabbi, attended by Kevin and Louise, Catherine, Armand, and Albert. And that is the end.